Hello, how are we getting on? I decided to do my little video from here today. It's just next to the campsite. I passed it coming in, I was checking into reservations. So the campsite would be over on that side over here in the kind of bushes and stuff. It's actually quite a cool campsite, but I decided to do it here because of this absolutely glorious lake here beside me. It's beautiful. The resort itself is fantastic. There's like a hotel, camping area, chalets, and on this lake, as I was saying here, they do kind of pedal boats and stuff like that. There's a big pool here, the whole works. But as you can see, the resort here is behind me. Um, it's quite an impressive place, you know. It's really upmarket kind of a place, you know. And the camping is quite cheap at €21, so where are you going? So yeah, today the plan is to push on to Auschwitz Birkenau camp. I should be there about 9 o'clock, hopefully all going well. That's only about 20 minutes away. From there then, it's kind of play it by ear really. I might go on to the Velka salt mines, depending on how I'm feeling. And from there then, my final destination is Krakow for tonight. I'm camping in Krakow tonight. With the intention to push on to Poznan in the morning. So that's where I am. Okay, talk to you in a while. Bye. Hello all, so I'm here in the car park before I go to the place to get my tickets for the Auschwitz Birkenau Memorial. The weirdest thing happened to me. So I pull into the car park, I was getting off the bike. As you can see, it's a beautiful day, so I said I'd take off my leather jacket. And so I was taking off my gear, put my coat on. Whenever way I glanced down, I was wearing a t-shirt, and a t-shirt said, and it was nothing to do with this place, I promise you that. The t-shirt says, "I understand, I just don't care." So oh my god, I can't go into Auschwitz Birkenau with that t-shirt on. So I had to get semi-naked in the car park to put on a top that has no markings on it and my cut over it. Oh, I say I so almost screwed up there. I can imagine walking into the place with a t-shirt says that. What a fucking horrible thing to do. Like, so anyway, yeah, I disrobed and I put that into my bag, and I'm about to go into the car park now. So I'll talk to you when I get out. The tour of Auschwitz Birkenau starts in Auschwitz Camp 1, and it brings you through those famous gates with Arbeit macht frei, work will set you free, on the main gates as you walk in there, which is almost like an insult. This is what it felt like to me, you know. It was like teasing those poor prisoners, you know. You work your ass to the bone and you'll die working as a slave, but it'll set you free. What an insult. It's like rubbing it in their faces. From there it brought us through different parts of the museum. Got to see things that, to be honest with you, just scared the living hell out of me. I was broken after it, is the only word for it. Every picture I saw that had children in it, I saw Ethan's face there, you know, being marched merrily to their demise in a gas chamber because they weren't the right religion. Isn't it insane? You know, I think about it now, isn't it craziness? Because they weren't the right religion, like. Because they weren't seen as equal to the Aryan race that Hitler had idealized. So I went from there into different rooms. One room that was very poignant was human hair. The Nazis would take human hair from women and send it on to have uniforms and socks and stuff made out of human hair, and that was transported back to Germany by the truckload. But there's still a room full of human hair there, and obviously you couldn't take photographs in there because there were the light and photographs would damage it. That was scary enough. What got me in Auschwitz Camp 1, what really got me was when you walk into one room, there's loads of shoes, and that kind of stepped me up and stood me back, you know. But you turn a corner in there, and there is a little case, and there's two little cases, and there's a little boy's outfit and a little girl's outfit, and you just know them little kids were just sent into a gas chamber, a complete waste of life, you know. And what crime did they commit? Nothing. They were just kids, you know. They probably didn't know their name or God or whatever, like, you know, when they were smashed into a gas chamber. I just don't understand it. I can't comprehend or wrap my brain around why or what would convince a person to do that. And I know when in the Nuremberg trials afterwards, a lot of the excuses were, oh, we were just following orders. As a former soldier slash Navy sailor, I know what it's like to have to follow an order. I know what it's like to get a ridiculous order and have to follow it. And I also know what it's like to have to not so much disobey an order, but to push back against an order. There's no excuse for that. You know, if you have an order to kill a child, then you're on the wrong side of history. Simple as that. Another part of the tour brought us to an execution wall where people were just lined up and shot. And it was, again, it felt like the Stonebreakers Yard in Kilmainham Jail, you know. There's a prisoner's flag hangs over it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it was just so quiet and peaceful. And the scary part about it was that there were parts of the camp and you were walking down like kind of a boulevard with trees left and right of you. Beautiful sunny day, and you kind of forget you're in Auschwitz Birkenau, you know. This is the site of mass murder. And you're like, oh, nice, and it's lovely there, you know. And you're going, you have to drag yourself back to where you are. From there, then we went to Birkenau camp itself, which is a little bit away, about 2 or 3 miles away. Camp number 2, which is where the famous gates and the train tracks are, and it was the main site of the mass killings of Jewish people and Polish people. And it showed us the ruins of the 2 gas chambers, and there's a lovely monument there. The train tracks end, and there's some flowers there. It's like the end of the line. It's right next to 2 gas chambers, and there's a monument to all the different nationalities that died there. And the same inscription is written 23 times in 23 different languages and 23 different countries that lost people there. And it was just, you know, I was exhausted after it. I was more exhausted after spending 3.5 hours in Auschwitz than I was after riding 12 hours between Amsterdam and Prague. Hello. So yeah, just out of the Auschwitz Birkenau Memorial. Jesus, that was hard, lad. It's about a 3.5 hour tour. It's long, man. It's stuff you see there it's heart wrenching, you know. It's harrowing in there. Every time they showed a picture of a small child, all I see is my little fella, you know what I mean? Small innocent faces looking out into a camera, like, oh, not knowing what's going to happen to them, and to be just led to their deaths, you know. And what got me about it more than anything else is, as I thought about it, it was done with precision. It was systematic, you know. It was a system put in place to kill these people, you know. And then it was revised. This is what gets me, man. It was revised, and they decided that it wasn't going fast enough, so we'll introduce a better system to kill more people and dispose of more bodies. You know, it's absolutely incredible. One line from it stuck in my head, and that is, if we don't learn from our past, we're doomed to repeat it. I think that's really poignant and important to remember for us, because, you know, if you replace the word Jew with migrant or trans or gay or whatever, you know, black, African, gypsy, Roman, whatever you want to put it, a lot of what they were saying fits in nicely with what's happening today, you know. You know how many people they say, oh, I don't want migrants next to me. if you heard it in 1941 or 1939, I don't want Jews next to me. It's exactly the same thing, you know. It didn't start with a concentration camp and killed 1.5 million people. It didn't start there. It ended there. You know, it started with calling people Untermenschen, underhumans or subhumans, or making them a them and us and separating both, and then it makes it easier to abuse these people, you know. So we gotta be really careful with that kind of shit, you know what I mean? You know, it was a very difficult tour. I was going to go to the salt mines. I'm looking at the time, and I'm looking at how I'm feeling, and I'm going, fuck the salt mines, man. I'm going back to my tent. I'm going to put my feet up for an hour, chill out, and just enjoy the sun, because got a lot of stuff to process after that. I am tired. So yeah, feet up tonight, I think, or for the rest of the afternoon. About an hour and a half from the campsite. Hopefully I'll work out some of them demons on the way back in the bike, you know. And when I get to the campsite, put up camp and just try and relax for the afternoon. Get to see Ethan tomorrow, and Magda. I can't wait to see him. I really can't, you know. I had originally planned to see excuse me, I had to see Auschwitz on my last day, and to be travelling to Poznan direct now. That would have been a good plan emotionally wise, maybe, but not a good plan time wise. It's a 3.5 hour tour, so you can imagine it's a long pull then, you know. So yeah, back to my tent, I think. Set up camp and chill out for the afternoon. Maybe grab a beer somewhere. So that's it. Talk to you soon. Bye bye. Hey, how are you getting on? So we made it to the final camping place in Poland, in Krakow, camping Klapardia. It was really interesting coming in here, okay, because they were still building the road into it. So it was a building site, and I was kind of going, I can't go down here, surely. But my sat-nav was saying go down there, I was going, do I trust Google Maps? Maybe not, maybe. I said, look, give it a go. So I drove down a little bit, and there's dumper trucks and I don't know, stuff for building roads and things. And they were all building this road, and I said, is it okay to drive down there? The man goes, yeah, no worries. So I drove down a little bit further, dodging diggers and dumpers and cement mixers and stuff. And I got to the end, and there's actually no road there. And a truck is behind me, and he reverses into an area, comes back out, so he's reversing past me. And he actually dumps a load of like gravel and stone in front of me, and a digger comes over and starts spreading the dirt out, and it was kind of spread out flat enough, and the man goes, yeah, you can drive through now. So with a fully laden with luggage and baggage and fuel, my bike is quite heavy, and I'm going, oh, I'm going to sink in this, I'm so going to sink in this. It was like completely not compressed or anything. Thing, I'm gonna sink in this, and I'm gonna make it look like a right div when a bike tips over and I fall out flat in my face. But I managed to get through it, thankfully, and got to the main gate in the camping site. Came in, they were really nice as well. They were gave me an adapter for their site. All their power runs on those 2-pin prongs, and I didn't bring a travel adapter, but I did bring the 240 volt camping kind of, you know, the circular thing. So they gave me an adapter for the 2-prong to that blue kind of plug. So all set up. Now for those very observant people that kind of caught onto the fact, you know, Ron isn't sitting on a bike, he's sitting on something different, and you'd be right, because Ron is glamping at the moment. So I've got my little tent, and I've got my camping table my foot's up on top of, and I've got my camping chair next to my motorcycle. So yeah, I am taking it easy today. And before you start thinking, oh, Ron went into Argos and just bought them down the road, no, I actually had these packed the whole way from Lismore on the back of the bike, so I had planned to use them, and I finally got a chance to use it today. So the plan for tonight is very simple. It is to go up to the reception up there a little bit, or up there in the brown buildings up there, and have an ice cream and maybe something small to eat, and then come back and chill out. That's it. I'm not leaving here. if at all possible. I may have to go to a supermarket to get something, but I don't think so. They've food here. I'm staying put. So it's the earliest camping I've done this whole trip. But after being to Auschwitz Birkenau today, I needed a rest. I really did. I was absolutely wrecked. I was kind of sore setting out. My neck was giving me a bit of hassle. Muscles in my neck were all tight, and I knew I had a long enough day tomorrow. I'm not sure how long the ride is tomorrow. I'll check it out in a while, but I know it's long enough. So I wanted to kind of have a chill day today, and tomorrow I get to see my little baby and Magda. So I'm looking forward to getting to Poznan and seeing them in Poland in there. I think, as far as I remember, I'm frightened to look. I think it's about a 6-hour pull from here, but we'll get there. What is it on a ship? It's like a watch and a half. That's what I look at it like. It's 4 hours plus 2. That's it. That's the way I look at it. So have a good one. Talk to you soon. Catch you on the next one. Bye.